She's building a jellyfish game.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish. I think Diana Nyad was thinking about jellyfish yesterday.
She was indeed.
She was. And I keep telling Amanda that she has to go to the Monterey Bay.
I have. I went this summer
What'd
and
you
to
think?
Long Beach, and I took lots of video footage. It was amazing.
Was it
So
good?
Totally recommend it if you guys haven't been there before. It was awesome.
You went to Monterey and you didn't stop at my house. Okay.
I didn't know that was an option.
I live in Carmel.
I went to Carmel too.
So I live.
Beautiful.
I live in Carmel. It's like 350 miles away from Los Angeles. During the week, I live in Venice Beach. So
That's pretty
I
far.
always live by the ocean.
It does sound nice though.
So in case I disappear, it's easy to find me by the ocean. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So there's actually
So what the couch is you're in a directed research. She's building the game. She needs some additional programmers. So you could do your DR is to work on her game or Dr. Ben's game. All right.
Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for listening. So I'm one of the team leads for Mirror Lab, which is one of the advanced games projects, and we're definitely interested in some directed research students, especially in the areas of graphics engineering and technical art. But also we also, if someone were interested in a specific area of tools or UI. So I'm not the engineering lead. I can't tell you too many details about that, but please talk to me if that might be of interest to you. I'm also working on a separate project, which is more of a data visualization project. They're all under the theme of the Mirror Lab, and they all involved the immortal jellyfish and an aquatic underwater world. So in the visualization project, we're visualizing activity within the new cinema building SCI based on location tracking on an Android phone, which a PhD student here in CS has developed. And so we're integrating that where people who add apps to their phone, they're being tracked throughout the building and they're interacting with the aquatic world. Everybody has an avatar jellyfish. So it's an interesting take on visualization. So that's one project which will be ongoing throughout the year. But also the other main project, kind of the primary project, is the video game. And you could also be involved with both if you're interested. But so yeah, it's an exploratory puzzle-based journey through the life cycle of the immortal jellyfish. And all these projects involve the immortal jellyfish because it has a really fascinating life cycle. It grows from baby to adult, and then it grows back to a baby. So it actually grows backwards in time. And so it's called the Benjamin Button jellyfish because of this. And so taking that theme, like how does that theme relate to how data might progress from something very minimal to something that is more intense and extreme, and then move backwards in time and disintegrate. But also an aquatic world is very beautiful and very evocative, so we're working with a lot of rich art imagery because of that as well. So, but I'll talk primarily about the game right now. So it's a third-person single-player 3D PC downloadable game that's an explorer with navigational puzzles and emergent systems. And this is the life cycle that I just mentioned. Those are some of our milestones. So depending on what phase you are in the game, gameplay changes a little bit. So when you're a blob, that's an embryo. It's a more minimal world and you're constrained to the ground. And in here, instead of being able to steam things, you use this electrify mechanic to actually illuminate this very dark shark world at the bottom of the ocean. And that's some concept art of once you've grown into a baby and can start to fly around, it's still pretty dark and mysterious. And throughout each stage, there are changes in scale, light, and the behaviors. So by the time you're an adult, you have more of a bird's eye view and can fly freely around the world. We're also using a color mechanic to help with puzzles and interacting with the system. And there are various enemies, especially other jellyfish and other big fish and octopus and things like that. Some carnivorous coral and some whirlpools. So there's also an opportunity to work with physics, things like water currents, if that's of interest. And we have a special memory mechanic, which is basically a node-based saving system where you can pull from different parts of the life cycle and replace them in that landmarks within the world. The style is, because I know you all care a lot about art style, I'm actually the art director too. My background is in animation and art, so the art style is very important to me. But it's aquatic retrofuturism, which is kind of a word that retrofuturism is a style that refers to kind of like a sci-fi meets like 60s, 70s sci-fi kind of feel. But it's a modular sort of geometric type style, which also helps us with polycount issues and things like that, optimization. We have a nice team so far, but definitely if you're interested in a particular area of specialization, whether it's biology-inspired AI behaviors, or tools, or issues of technical art, shader writing, UI design. We actually already have a directed research student who's helping us with web development because we're going to provide more of the information about the science on the website. So that will be a portal for the game itself is inspired by science, but it's more of a game. So it's not directly, we're not providing information about the science, but then we're going to provide more information on the website about the science. And we'll have nice science visualization drawings and science illustrations and things like that. And maybe links to the aquarium and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So we don't want the game to be didactic in being educational, but we do want to provide the education on the website. So we have somebody helping with that, which is great. But we could definitely use someone else if they're interested in that as well.
It's going to be a beautiful game.
I intend to make it as beautiful as we can. And do everything we can with Unity. So these are some of our advisors. And that's what sorry the formatting got a little funky, but probably tools and UI. If any of you are interested in game design, that's also an option. And some of the AI challenges that we're thinking about. This dynamic blending of the animation between phases, that's like for the main player character. And let's see. I want to very quickly show you, if we have time, it's always like one of 3 passwords. Okay, fourth try. Okay. So then switching gears a little bit, this is the visualization project. This is an early prototype of it. Okay. So as you all probably know, indoor location tracking is a very difficult engineering problem, and Seville engineering student has been working on this. So it's an opportunity to learn more about what he did, his algorithms for that, and then also how to integrate that into a real-world prototype. So there's a lot of interesting engineering challenges there. So we've been using his personal server. We're going to be porting that over to a new server at SCI. And we also need to improve the Android application. So if any of you are interested in Android development and or iOS, then yeah, talk to me later. So let me make sure there's no sound on that. Oh look, I'm wearing the same thing. Have fun. You do.
Just today. Presentation shirt.
That's really funny. I like this shirt. Okay. So here we simulated different, and now they move around, and we have like a line trail renderer to show movement within the building. But since we're still getting our server up and running, this is all a simulation. So we had a new building opening, so we got this ready for that. So basically, like each avatar is a person. We made fake people, obviously, but well, real person, but you know. Unfortunately, Steven Spielberg does not have our app, but yeah. So you can click on different people. You can learn more about them, and next steps we would like it so that the people can interact with each other through the touch-based system. So my jellyfish might attack your jellyfish. There might be a little bit of light AI to have better behaviors within the environment, that kind of thing. An opportunity to possibly like draw on the wall in the environment, just to have a little bit more interaction. And so there's also all these sensors within the building. And we can include information about all of those sensors, so there's already an API for that, if we want to. I took them out for now, but in this demo we had temperature working, so that's what's going on with that. Okay, thank you guys for listening.
Great. So what we'll do is we'll Dr. Ben's presentation next?
Let's go through the slides real quick, just because
go
everyone's
through it.
actually here.
Let's do it. Other slides. It's like you.
It's already open. Huh? Yeah, but she locked out. And it's an incognito window. So you're still logged into your window. Alright, so you guys already seen most of this. So report due next week, okay?
Sure, next week's good. Yeah, basically I want one page. Here's what I'm going to do this semester from you. All right. So if you come to the end of next week and you don't know what you're going to do,
Then we have something for you.
well, yeah, exactly. Well, you better have something to do. Okay.
Yeah, but so give us a one-page report, you saw the format, and depending on the project, you might have weekly meeting, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever. And at the end, we're gonna ask you for a final report, and we'll let you know more about that later.
You should be thinking about this as this is going to be part of your portfolio. So when you go look for a job, you can show this project and say, I built this. All right.
Right, so your one-page proposal, you guys all have a link, you can reference to this later. And some of you were asking, yes, you can do your own topic, that's what Professor Zeta encourages you. But if you guys really can't think of anything, that's why we have all these other options that you can take. And we also have a backup if you really want to do DR, but you have no clue what you want to do at all.
Exactly.
So here's the topics, and we already went through some of the one advancing project, but we'll quickly go through these. So Mark couldn't make it today because his car broke down.
His car broke down.
Yeah, so
And he's broke. Okay.
you want to talk about this one?
This is a piece of software that wraps Unity 3D around builds a virtual environment where you can actually layer data into this network virtual environment. So it's kind of cool. We have sponsors who give us funding for this. So if you're interested in being part of that, talk to Mark.
Yeah, and particularly he's looking for people that have skills in Unity 3D or willing to pick it up.
Exactly.
And this was, yeah, the bottom are the features that he's interested in getting set up and added to the system. Take back and branching so you can make choices and then go back and say, hey, what if I didn't do this? I would do that. What would change? How would that affect the world? Dimensional repurposing, because the thing was originally an analyst tool, so you want to be able to visualize data in different ways. So say if you ever have a parking structure and it's really full, maybe you'll show like a bunch of different sizes circle or something like that, and then you can try to filter that on top, like, oh, first floor has a lot of cars, so it has a really big circle. The top floor doesn't have that many, so it has a tiny circle, so you can look at it. Different way of visualization. Stuff like that.
Let's move on.
Yeah. So Mark's email, behavior box.
Okay, so Behavior Box is a project that I've been trying to get people to work on for some time. And we have a patent filed in this, which is, this is a patent on taking information, news feeds from the real world and changing the behavior of your AI characters. So for example, if CNN.com has an article about somebody who swam from Cuba to Florida, and that's something you are real interested in swimming, then your virtual characters might be really happy that day. If something horrible happens in the world, the wrong person loses on Dancing with the Stars, then you go around with a sad face. But what I'd like to do is explore and have somebody build a really good demonstration of this. The idea being that over in your game client, you're receiving news feeds across the network, and you have a natural language system that's reading the news feeds and picking out the things of interest to you, and having a model for how to change your behavior, your characters from those things. And initially, you could just like leave, the language processing out, and if you saw the word terror bombing happen, then your characters get nervous and jumpy. Or if you see that Apple computer comes out with a new phone, you're very excited, okay, because you like Apple stuff. Or Microsoft gets a new CEO, and he's the current CEO for Valve Software, as the rumors have it today. So I'd love someone to spend some time on turning this into a really cool demo.
So we have some prior work.
We had some prior work, you can read it in there. If you're interested in this, we'll probably form a group of you interested.
Alright.
Why this is a good topic, by the way, is the Chief Creative Officer of Electronic Arts is very interested in people who have an understanding of how to play and do interesting things with the networking with games. Alright. So if you're interested in that, if you're very excited about that, let me know. Alright.
So the research seminar is the fallback option if none of the project interests you and you really just want to do a VR. And this is what basically, Boki isn't here, but what we will do is have papers that you can read and then you will summarize those, and then every other week we'll discuss and talk about what you have learned and stuff like that.
You know, yeah, I mean, we might be looking at game AI papers, you might be looking at hot research out of the last SIGGRAPH conference. If you're really interested in computer graphics, you know, you want to dig through and go get the last SIGGRAPH proceedings. I probably have them on electronic form, we could probably go through them and pick out some papers and talk about what are hot topics.
Right. So this is a fallback option. And
What's the
now,
time for that research seminar? This time?
Probably this time
This
or
time.
maybe Monday.
Okay.
Let's see. So advanced game projects, you just heard from Amanda with the Mirror Lab, but we also have 3 other ones. Alan?
Okay. Hi, I'm Alan Wagner. I'm the team lead on Cole. And Cole is a 2D platformer action-adventure game that we're developing for iPhone and Android. And let's see, first I'd like to show you a little footage from the prototype of our game. Let's see, this had the link.